You're not failing at weight loss because you lack willpower. You're failing because your identity is keeping you stuck. Now, at 205 kg a couple of years ago, my identity was the fat guy, and that identity was so powerful. I couldn't imagine being anything else. Then I discovered something in Islam that changed everything. Not a diet, not a workout plan, but a complete identity shift. And it's what helped me lose over 95 kg. Alhamdulillah. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to change your identity using an Islamic concept called inqilab, which is about transformation at the deepest level. So the more you watch this video, the deeper you find out more about yourself and the deeper it goes. Because weight loss isn't just eat less and move more. It's about changing your mind and changing your actual identity and who you are to keep it off for the rest of your life. See, let me show you how identity keeps you stuck. See, at 205 kg, here's what I believed about myself. I'm the fat guy. I'm the biggest guy in the family. I'm undisciplined. I'm weak. I can't control myself. And losing weight isn't for guys like me. Now, here's the problem. Those weren't just thoughts. They were my identity, how I saw myself at a deeper core level. And here's what happens with identity. Every action you take reinforces your belief about who you are. When I overate, I thought, see, this confirms I'm undisciplined. I'm the kind of person who overeats. When I skipped the gym, I thought, this confirms I'm lazy. I'm the kind of person who doesn't train. When I tried a diet and failed, I thought, this confirms I can't change. Losing weight just isn't who I am. So my identity became a self-fulfilling prophecy. I believed I was a fat guy who couldn't change. So I acted like the fat guy who couldn't change, which reinforced my belief even more, which made me act that way again. So this probably might hit some light bulb moments for you. This same similar trap that you're in as well. You try to lose weight, then someone, so this might not be yourself at first, but someone reminds you, your uncle, your auntie, your brother, your sister, your friend, you're like, oh, you know, you're still fat. You've been trying, but you're still fat. You still look ugly. Nothing's working. You haven't changed anything. And then you fall back into this loop of, oh yeah, it's true. I am fat. What's the point of carrying on? And then you go back to binging. Then you go back to eating more. Then you come across another motivational video and you want to start losing weight. And then guess what? You start, someone else or the shaitan comes to your ear, he starts spitting waswasa in your ear, and boom, back in the same trapped loop. And that loop is so much more powered by your identity, by my identity. That's why diets fail. They don't address identity. They just tell you to eat less and move more. But if your identity is, I'm the kind of person who overeats, eating less contradicts who you actually think you are. So you unconsciously sabotage yourself. Now, I want you to take an actionable step. Number one, identify the identity that's keeping you stuck. See, right now, write down who do you actually think you are. You don't have to do this with a pen and paper, but write it down somewhere on Notes app if you've got an iPhone or Samsung. Write down who you actually think you are. So I wrote down, I'm the fat guy. I'm the biggest one in the family. I won't be able to get married. I will always be forever undisciplined. I'm weak-willed. I'm someone who doesn't take care of himself. And I want you to write it all down because you need to consciously reject it. You need to actually see what you're saying about yourself. And this is where I want you to let your thoughts just explode, like just literally wander, right? And I want you to think about every single thing that you think you are. Now, the Islamic concept inqilab, which means transformation, is a very powerful concept. Now, inqilab, it means a complete transformation, a revolution of the self. See, Allah says in the Quran, Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is within themselves. Let me just repeat that because it's everything, right? Allah will not change your condition until you change what is within yourself. Now, this isn't about external change, but it's about internal transformation, a change in who you are. See, if I wanted to become a rich man, right, and I wanted to live a wealthier life. I believed that Ar-Razzaq was the person, Allah was Ar-Razzaq, the provider, right? But externally, I was acting rich, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm, buying more expensive clothes and stuff like that. But then internally, I was like, oh, do you know what? I'm gonna lose £2 here. I'm gonna lose £5 over there. Oh, maybe that £100 thing's a bit too expensive for me. Do you see how I have no trust in Allah? There's no tawakkul in my heart that the money will come back. Or best example, if I want to give sadaqah, right, and I gave £5, but then I'm like, oh, maybe I could use that £5 and given it to someone else, or I could have bought, chicken for myself, whatever it is. I don't believe in Allah. I don't have enough tawakkul in my heart to believe that Allah is truly Ar-Razzaq, and He will, like, Allah has gotten you so far in your life. You're probably sat here on your phone, iPhone 17 Pro Max. You're sat here watching this YouTube video. Allah has given you all of this. You're probably sat in a nice, comfortable room where it's not too hot, it's not too cold. You've got a roof over your head. You've got food in the kitchen. If you want, you can order some food whilst you're watching this video, and you'll get food at the doorstep. Allah has gotten you to this point so far, and Allah will continue providing for you more. Allah will continue giving you health, legs, arms, eyes, nose, mouth, the ability to go to the gym. This is Allah. He continues to give you more, and He will continue giving more. So who's to say He's not going to change or help you once you change what is within your heart, what is within yourself? Now, going back to it, here's the key insight that not a lot of people actually talk about. Your identity isn't fixed. It's not permanent. You can change it, but not through willpower, but through a fundamental shift in how you see yourself. See, at 205 kg, my identity was, I'm someone who destroys my body. I am someone who dishonors the amana. I am someone who doesn't honor Allah's trust. That identity was true because that's what I was doing, right? But then I realized something. That's not who I have to be. I don't have to be the fat guy for the rest of my life. I can choose a complete different identity. See, this new identity can be, I'm someone who honors the amana. I am someone who respects my body. I am someone who takes care of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given me. I am someone who worships Allah through how I treat my body. Which leads me on to actionable step number 2. Declare your new identity out loud. Don't just think it, but actually say it multiple times throughout a day. In the morning, say, I am someone who honors the amana. I am someone who respects my body. Before meals, think about how you're someone who eats what your body needs and not what your nafs wants. Before a walk, I am someone who moves daily. I am someone who takes care of my health. Before bed, I am someone who protects my body and honors the trust that Allah has given me. Saying it out loud makes it real. It programs your subconscious to believe it. And once you declare the identity, everything changes. Because now you're acting in alignment with who you believe you are. How identity alignment actually works. See, let me show you what happens when you act from your identity. See, when I wanted to overeat, here's the old thought that I had. I should stop myself. I need more willpower. I need to be more disciplined. And you know what that was doing? That was forcing. And it's very exhausting. And you're always in conflict. But the new thought in my head was, that's not actually who I am. I'm someone who honors the amana that Allah has given me. Someone who honors the amana doesn't overeat. He doesn't do that. And do you see the difference? The old thought is about willpower, but the new thought is about identity and who you are. See, when I didn't feel like walking, the old thought was, I have to force myself to go. The new thought is, I'm someone who takes care of my body. Someone who takes care of their body walks daily. It's the exact same action, but guess what? Now it's coming from the identity alignment, not from willpower. And identity alignment is sustainable, which leads me on to actionable step number 3. Act in alignment with your new identity. Every action you take should match who you're choosing to be. See, if your identity is someone who honors the amana that Allah has given them, then you eat portions that honor your body and not destroy it. You're not going to order crazy amounts of food. You're not going to go through plates and plates of food, and you're not going to destroy your body again. You walk because you respect your body and not punish it. You sleep on time because you need recovery, not to stay up eating junk food. Every action that you take reinforces the identity, and that identity reinforces the next action, which leads me on to actionable step number 4. When you mess up, recommit to this identity, because you will mess up. You will overeat. It's inevitable. You'll skip a walk, you'll stay up eating junk. So don't use that as evidence that the new identity is false and it's BS, right? Instead, make istighfar. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. In your heart and in your mind, think about, Ya Allah, forgive me. I messed up again. I want to restart and recommit. Literally say it to yourself. That's not who I am. I'm someone who honors the amana. Someone who honors the amana, learns from his mistakes, and guess what? He keeps going. Because that slip up doesn't define you, my brothers and sisters. That identity, the identity defines you. See what happened. Now, what happened when I changed my actual identity? Let me tell you what actually happened when I made the shift. See, at 205 kg, the identity, the fat guy, was powerful. It controlled every single thing I did. But when I declared a new identity, I am someone who honors the amana that Allah has given me, everything shifted. Not my diet, not my gym routine, but my identity. See, month number 1, I started acting differently because the identity required it to. Not because I felt like it, but because this is what the identity demanded. Wanted to overeat? No. Someone who honors the amana doesn't do that. Wanted to skip a walk? No. Someone who honors the amana moves daily. The actions came from the identity alignment, not from willpower, and they were so much more easier than forcing myself to go to the gym, which led me on to month number 3. The identity starting to feel real. I wasn't forcing it anymore. It was actually becoming true. See, people would offer me a third plate. I'd go to my family and friends' houses, and the old identity would say, yeah, I'm the kind of person who eats a lot. But the new identity would say, no thanks. I'm someone who respects my body. That response came so naturally, alhamdulillah, because it matched who I was actually becoming, which led me on to month number 6. The shift was complete. My identity wasn't the fat guy trying to lose weight. It was a guy who takes care of his body. It was just who I was now. And that identity carried me through so much hard times when the scale didn't actually move, when I wanted to quit, when nothing actually made sense for me, because the identity was stronger than the circumstances. And guess what? 95 kg lost since. But more important than the weight loss itself, a complete new identity. I wasn't the fat guy who just lost the weight. I was a guy who honored the amana that Allah gave me. And alongside this whole weight loss journey, I became closer and closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And every single day I try and get even more closer to Him. See, that identity wasn't dependent on a number on the scale. It was dependent on my choices, my commitment, and my character. Now, here's the actual thing. Knowing this intellectually and actually making the shift are two completely different things. See, most guys watch a video like this and think, yeah, I get it. I just need to change my identity. But then they go home and they're still stuck in the old patterns. The old identity is strong. It has been there for years. It has been there for maybe decades, right? And if you want to actually make this shift and have someone guide you through it, it is something I help with. We'll work on your specific identity, we'll work out and figure out what's been holding you back, and we'll build a new identity that actually sticks. It's not about me telling you what to do. It's just literally about helping you become who you actually want to be. And if you're interested, there's a link in the description. There's no pressure, but if you actually want help making this real, that's what I'm here for. Now, going back to it, actionable steps summary. Here's your action plan starting from today. Step number 1, write down your old identity, the one that's keeping you stuck. Step number 2, declare your new identity out loud multiple times. Make it actually real. Step number 3, for the next 30 days, act from that new identity, not from willpower, but from who you're choosing to be. Step number 4, when you do slip up, make istighfar and recommit. Don't let one moment define you. Step number 5, track how your decisions change when you're acting from identity instead of willpower. And that's it. These 5 steps will transform everything for you. But here's what most people don't realize. Identity shift is extremely powerful, but it only works if you understand how to use your identity to actually lose the weight. Because changing your identity doesn't automatically make the weight fall off. You actually still need a system. You still need to know what to eat, how much to eat, and how to move. And that's exactly what the next video is about. I'm going to show you the exact eating system that works with this new identity, the calorie target that actually works at your weight, the meal structure that makes it all effortless. So make sure you watch that next. And by the end of it, you'll have both the identity and the system to actually make this happen. Jazakallah, thank you for watching. Assalamu alaikum.